Domestic violence, an offense, a crime, or just another overhyped expression? Well, whatever may be your views on it, this is something that exists and unfortunately still going strong. This is not just an issue limited to the masses. Even celebs' life is not that rosy. From film stars to beauty queens to TV actresses, no section of the glamour world has been spared from its clutches. Here are some of the actresses that have come out in the media and reported about the physical and mental abuse they suffered in their relationships. Number 1. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan. Let's start with the world's most gorgeous woman, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan. As we all know, the Aishwarya Salman affair had generated a big storm when their breakup story hit newspapers and tabloids. But what went wrong between the two most good-looking people? Well, Aishwarya, after the split-up, was found saying that she had to endure Salman's alcoholism and was at the receiving end of his abuses and infidelity. They broke up when Salman indirectly confessed to her that he was cheating on her. In 2000, Aishwarya's parents also filed a police complaint against Salman Khan for stalking, threatening, and trying to forcefully enter Aishwarya's house. This whole episode took another leap in 2002, when Salman came onto the sets of Chalt Chalt. Furious actor reportedly hit Aishwarya and pushed her on the ground and destroyed the sets. As a result of all this high-end drama, Aishwarya was sacked from the film and Rani Mukherjee was roped in. Aishwarya, in her interview to Times of India, said, "There were times when Salman got physical with me, luckily without leaving any marks. And I would go to work as if nothing had happened." Now going to the other side of the story, when Salman was asked whether he has hit a woman, he said, "If I hit a woman, she wouldn't have survived. It's not true that I hit a woman." Aishwarya even declared Salman's chapter to be a nightmare in her life. 2. Zeenat Aman. A successful actress, model and former beauty queen, Zeenat's married life and her relationship both were unfortunately far away from being perfect. In the 80s, Zeenat's relationship with already married Sanjay Khan ended on a terrible note. There were reports in the print that Sanjay brutally bashed up Zeenat in front of his wife in Hotel Taj. He thrashed her so much that Zeenat got a permanent scar on her eye. After this incident, Zeenat went into the state of shock and had to be injected with antidepressants 3 times a day. In an old report, one of her doctors was quoted as saying, "Zeenat was in such a terrible state. Her face was covered with bruises and black eyes. There were blood clots in her eyes and her lips were severely cut." After this gory anti-fairy tale, Zeenat got married to Mazhar Khan. Unfortunately, the actress was physically battered in this relationship also. In a press conference in Mumbai, Zeenat bravely spoke about this issue and brought it to limelight. Zeenat had filed for divorce also, but Mazhar's sudden death, due to renal failure, brought an end to their marriage. 3. Yukta Mukhi. The former Miss World Yukta Mukhi is also a victim of domestic violence. In 2012, she submitted a written application in the Mumbai police station against her husband, Prince Tully, alleging harassment and abuse. Following which the police had carried out an inquiry, but no FIR was registered. However, later she finally filed an FIR with a dowry harassment case against him. She has claimed that Tully has been verbally and physically abusing her and forces her to have unnatural sex. 4. Dimpy Ganguly. Right after the much-publicized Swam War, Dimpy Ganguly was seen making headlines for her charges against her husband Rahul Majan. She spoke out loud about his abusive ways and how Rahul used to point his gun at her during their fights. When Mumbai Mirror met up with Dimpy, just hours after that incident, there were bruises on her shin, right and left hand, while her left cheek was swollen. There was also a lump on her head. Dimpy's statement in the media at that time was, "I don't know what I got myself into." He seemed nice, but no one can control him when he gets abusive. 5. Shweta Tiwari. The most popular Bedi of Indian television, Shweta Tiwari, is another victim of domestic violence. Before her divorce, the actress had been pouring her heart out in interviews about troubled relationship with her husband. The abusive marriage lasted 14 years and came to an end with Shweta's allegations about domestic abuse in court against Raja. She claimed that Raja would come home drunk and physically harm her. During their marriage also, Shweta had reported against Raja several times in police stations for physical and verbal abuse. 6. Rucha Gujarati. TV actress Rucha Gujarati, who made her debut with Ekta Kapoor's show, Kusum, is another victim on the list. She was married to businessman Mitul Sanghavi, and reportedly her marriage hit the rock bottom due to the physical and mental abuse at the hands of her husband and in-laws. According to the reports published in the TOI, sources said that Rucha was tortured and badly beaten on many occasions by her husband and in-laws. The torture was to an extent that she was even deprived of meals and asked to foot the bills for her expenses. 7. Kangana Ranaut. The reigning queen of Bollywood, Kangana Ranaut, made a confession about being in an abusive relationship with Aditya Pancholi earlier in her career. The actress, in an interview to a media portal, went on to reveal rather explicit details about how she was physically abused in that relationship. She said, "It was a very difficult and very harsh time. I was physically abused. I don't have to go to details. I felt trapped. You feel people might help you, but there are no free lunches. This man who was my father's age hit me hard on my head when I was 17. I started bleeding. I took out my sandal and hit his head hard and he started to bleed too." 8. Karisma Kapoor. Karisma Kapoor, who belongs to Bollywood's first family, the Kapoors too have not spared from the horror of domestic violence. The actress is now divorced from her husband Sanjay Kapoor, and the reason for their divorce was domestic violence case. While the custody of the kids was already granted to Karisma, it was later decided that Sanjay will have occasional access to them. 9. Deepshikha Nagpal. Bollywood and television actress Deepshikha Nagpal has accused her husband of 4 years of physical abuse. She got married to Kashav Arora in 2012, but soon differences cropped up and they both filed for divorce that got finalized on February 29, 2016. Reportedly, she had even filed a police complaint when he had threatened to kill her in 2015. On Women's Day, March 8, she filed a complaint against him for trespassing, theft and physical assault, and said, "I was physically abused on a day when the world was celebrating womanhood. How could he enter my house without my permission? I want justice. I am on my way to the police station. I am going to file an FIR. Keshav had come to my place 2 days back, March 8th, asking for money. When I refused to give him money, he started hitting me. I was bleeding from the nose. I have too many injuries on my body. I am shocked after this incident. He thinks he's a man and can get away with anything. I am not going to cry and will teach him a lesson the first time I did complaint, and I thought he will be fine. Everybody has to give one chance to this marriage, but if the man does it again, and on Women's Day I'm being beaten up, I will not take it. If I remain mum, so what will other wives do?" However, Kashav denied the allegations made against him and said that she was unfaithful in the relationship. They have now given a second chance to their marriage. These celebs came out and admitted they were physically abused. There is no shame in that. It is the other person who needs to be shamed. These women had set an example for many women out there to fight for what is right. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, share with your loved ones, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that to never miss updates anytime I upload a new video. And if you are returning subscribers, thanks for joining us once again. See you in my next video. Bye.